welcome back to Watch the Time. So I'm really pleased to be able to bring you in yet another San Martin. I know you're probably thinking San Martin, but for good reason. They make fantastic watches, not as inexpensive as they used to be, but then the quality from where it used to be, or even though it used to be very good, it's much better now, I would say, and they keep pushing on. This is their Chronograph watch. Really like the look of it. You've got 4 different colour variations. I've gone for the green. I do like a green watch. It's probably one of my favourite colours in a watch, so I wanted to opt for this one. I'll bring a few different colour. I'll bring the other colour options up as we go through the video. But yeah, the model number for this is the SN0101-G-JS-2. I don't know. I don't really know. It's a bit of a mouthful, that one. But hopefully it's worth it. Nice build quality it seems to have. It's got the VK64 movement inside, a nice Seiko movement, so I feel like it's ticking a lot of boxes. I leave the pricing up near the end as well, so it give you an idea. But I'll stop going on. Hopefully you'll know by the end of this video if it's for you or not. If it is, please use my link in the description. Much appreciated. But with that being said, let's get the camera turned around and get on with it. Hi guys and girls, so this is the watch. Usual San Martin packaging. We won't spend an awful long time on the packaging. Get it unscrewed, and inside you'll see the watch. We'll talk about that in just a moment, and I'll go through the fact there's one of 4 colorways. This is the one I chose. I am a bit of a sucker for a green watch. I know I've said that before, but it definitely is the case. They're the ones I sort of gravitate towards when I'm buying watches. Let me take this stuff out from inside. Given the fact it's on a leather strap, I didn't have taken links out, so that's what you get inside. Pretty standard really with San Martin watches, but as I've said many times, I do like the finishing on that hang tag. I think it's done really nicely. Instruction manual, QR code, so you can go on there, and also signed, which we like to see, signed and dated. Let me put all this back to the side, so then we can actually look at the star of the show, which undoubtedly is this watch. Let me give it another quick wipe, and then yeah, so there we are. This is the SN0101-G-JS-2. Yeah, these model numbers are getting a bit out of hand from San Martin. I'm not going to lie, they're almost turned into Tissot model numbers. We need to sort that out. San Martin, let's try and keep it a little bit more friendly for the reviewers, shall we say? Because, yeah, that's a bit of a long one. But there we go. I won't be saying that again. Inside, it's running a Mecaquartz movement. It's the Seiko VK64 movement. I'll bring some information up about that movement now. I've had it in a couple of watches, and it's a Seiko movement. What can I say? They tend to run very well, which is indeed the reason they use them in so many micro brand and AliExpress watches, because they work. If it's not broken, don't fix it. Do you know what I mean? So that's the movement. The construction of the watch, aside from the strap and the crystal, was all 316L stainless steel. So that'll be the pin buckle clasp. Again, finished nicely engraved there as well. The bezel, case, crown and pushers, and case back, all 316L stainless steel. Obviously again brushed, polished on the outer edge, brushed again, brushed at the sides, each side, and polished at the top of the lugs. And yeah, as you saw, it's brushed, polished, excuse me, on the clasp. But yeah, mixture of brushing and polishing, high polish bezel also. But yeah, that's the construction of the watch. The case thickness of this watch is 12mm, but do bear in mind a little bit that's taken up by the crystal, so that's 12mm. The lug, the case diameter, when you measure at the shortest point in between the pusher and the crown, it was coming in at bang on 38mm, and when you include the crown on pushers, it was coming at 41.2mm. The lug width on this is 20, and the lug to lug, tip to tip, or length, as I sometimes will refer to it as, is 46.8mm. You saw the case back a moment ago. It is screwed down. Makes it quite awkward sometimes with these ones where there's no nodules to get into, but screwed down, and as you can see, stainless steel, sterile case back. The bezel is fixed, although there is a sort of like part inside on the dial that could also do what a bezel does, but that's neither here nor there. The bezel's high polished and it's fixed. The crown is situated at 3 o'clock. It is just a push-pull crown, and the pushers are at 2 and 4, and we'll talk about that when we look at the dial in a bit more detail. The strap is leather, feels quite nice, and I think they've colour matched it quite well with the dial. Actually looks the business, and it does come with quick release on there, so makes it nice and easy to change out. So there we are. Looks very nice. As you saw a moment ago, it's a pin buckle clasp, nicely engraved there, and the crystal covering the dial is sapphire crystal, thankfully, which is nice to see. Nice bit of box dome sapphire crystal, quite pronounced, as I said. Sitting a little bit proud of the bezel, which I would have added probably a mil to the thickness of the watch. So that's why I mentioned it. Also, the water resistance that's cited on the AliExpress or San Martin official page is cited as being 50 meters. So that would give you 5 atmospheres of water resistance with this watch, and the weight will appear in the top right hand corner. It's just below 60 grams, but which is probably about where it should be, given the fact it's on a leather strap and it's quite a compact sort of watch, not too big. But let's have a look at the dial now, guys, in a bit more detail. So as I said, you've got some measurements and stuff going around the outer edge. Inside that, you got a minute track in sort of milliseconds or so you can sort of time things extremely accurately. Inside that, you got applied elements everywhere except for the 3 and 9, making way for the sub dials, and we'll talk about those sub dials in just a moment. Let me give it another quick wipe. Excuse me, guys. Let me just take the crown out. Actually, I think it's fine there. Let's start the pusher so then we can actually see. So yeah, you got Roman numerals at the 12 for 12 and 6 as well, and then battens everywhere else, and then the sub dials, as I've said. Nice green sunburst dial. No loom on this, you'll be pleased to know, given I don't think it really needs it. I like the fact they've gone for nice high polish elements with the hands and indices. What you will see as it goes round, the sub dial at the 9 o'clock is the counter, so that would count how many minutes you've been timing things for. Obviously, one revolution of the second hand would give you a minute, and so on and so forth. The sub dial at the 3 o'clock, what that will do is keep the time, so it gives you 24 hours. So on here at the moment, it's saying it's coming up to sort of just gone quarter to 7 in the evening, which is in keeping with what it says there. As I say, once it goes round, I'll show you what that does also. But yeah, not an awful lot going on the dial in terms of, there's no date, but there is a dated movement, unfortunately. It seems to be a theme that's ongoing at the moment with San Martin, which is a bit unfortunate. But yeah, so let me stop that now and then push it again. It will all go back to the upright position. But if you take the crown out very quickly, I'll put it sort of to around here. You put it back in, as you would see, it would have hacked, but there's no second hand on there, obviously. But there you go, you can hear the date turning over, which is unfortunate. Like I said, I would like them to stop using movements with dates on them if they're not going to put a date border, so that's unfortunate. But that's the dial, guys. Really nice green dial, as I've said. That's the dial, that's the elements, that's the high polish. But yeah, let me just pop on the wrist quickly, give you an idea of what it looks like on my wrist. My wrist is just above a 7-inch wrist for your reference, and this is what it looks like on me. Okay, so that's what it looks like on me. Probably could have done with a little bit more AR coating, given how it's reacting to the studio lighting, but there you go. That's what it looks like on my wrist. I've still got 3 holes to make it tighter, and it would look like there are 4 holes, 3 holes to, yeah, so bang in the middle really. So you're looking at up to past 8-inch wrist down to probably about 6 inches. So yeah, lots of scope for it to fit different wrist sizes. But let me just give it a quick wipe, and then we can crack on with what I think is pants and pucker about the watch. Okay, so yeah, as I said, we'll crack on with now what I think is pants and pucker. If you've ever watched before, you know I always start with pants. I like to go on a high with pucker. So what I think is pants is not an awful lot, to be honest. I think this watch is really a little stunner, to be fair. Nicely finished, nice things. The only thing I would mention, and I've mentioned it a few times now with San Martin watches, is the ghost position again. Yeah, I'd rather they just stop that. There's no need for it. There's movements available that would suffice to allow that not to happen. What I think is a pucker, quite a lot more actually, and obviously given the fact there's only one thing on pants, it probably wouldn't be difficult, is the sapphire crystal. I like the fact they've gone for a bit of sapphire crystal on there. Really helps the longevity of the watch and keeping it looking sharp for longer. The dial, yeah, that green dial is stunning. There's a few, as I showed you at the start, a few other colorways to choose from, but I do like a green dial, and I don't think the pictures on AliExpress done this one justice. just in terms of how vibrant that green is. So yeah, really nice dial. The case size, yeah, nice 38mm, really nice size watch, to be honest, and one that I could see very much in the unisex category, and I could see it doing quite well with both males and females, given the dimensions. The crown and pushers finished very nicely, as you can see, not just plain, nice little bit of decorative on the pushers, and the crown again, nice size, nicely finished, and also signed with the San Martin at the bottom, which is good to see. The leather strap, yeah, the leather strap's nice. I can't lie. I think it's gonna wear very well. Nice colour in terms of colour matching, and just feels like very good quality. And the clasp, I did mention it briefly. I do think these clasps are just really, really nicely engineered. You get some that are polished, some that are brushed. This one's polished, but the way they've engraved San Martin on there just looks really, really nice. It looks quite premium, doesn't it? I think that looks the business. So just to summarise what I think is, Pukka is I'll go with the sapphire crystal, dial, case size, crown and pushers, leather strap and clasp are what I think is Pukka. And would I recommend this watch? Yeah, again, I would. There's not many San Martins I wouldn't recommend, but given there's only one thing that I mentioned for pants, and that was the ghost position also. Yeah, so otherwise, I think it's a really nice looking watch, and the fact there's 4 different colorways to choose from, there should be one that tickles your fancy. But guys and girls, please let me know what you think about this watch, and maybe any other watches you may want to see on the channel. And as always say, don't forget to like, subscribe, and always watch your time. Take care, guys. All the very best.